Hey guys, in this video I will show you how to play Cypher on the new updated Lotus, and we will start right here on A side with these simple tricks. So first of all, you can do this great trip like this, so that way it blocks off this entrance. Of course you can be doing ones like these as well, however you won't have the opportunity to spam through it if there's anyone coming very close and you are playing on site. So if you are doing this one, it's much easier for you to get the kill. You can do also trips like this that will go through the wall, and once again it will be harder for enemies to break. It's gonna get anyone who will be trying to go for a plant. From this new update, the barrier here has moved, and you can now do your trip at the beginning of the round very simply like this at 3, so that way once again you don't have to worry about it. And if you have a high penetration gun, you can be waiting for them and even try to spam them through the wall. Of course you can be doing, for example, this one way as well. Go to this line on this wall and place your crosshair right here and throw there your cage, and as you can see it's gonna get stuck here, and then you can be playing with these one ways. For example, if there's anyone coming, you can just simply pop it and try to get a kill on anyone going inside. Another trap that you might be trying to use would be, for example, something like this. Once again, it's quite unusual to do something like this, but it can still work and can get you anyone who'd be trying to push into site quickly. You can be doing your cam into different spots, but one thing that you can also be doing just at the beginning of the round, you can simply place your cam, for example, here, and you can be waiting for enemies to camp, and they usually won't really check it that well. Just have that in mind. You can even do it closer to the box if you want to make sure that it won't get broken instantly and the enemies won't even check it further, so you can be waiting for them and gain it, and you can most importantly listen if they are close or not, since this cam is really pushed up. If you don't want to be doing this, you can be either placing one right here, so that way you can be looking there. If you want to be taking control of aim, watching into main, you can place it on the corner right here and wait for anyone. That way you can activate your cages here as well. And lastly, you can do your cam in spots like these as well, just so that way you can watch into the tree and look at the entrance. Now let's move on to B side. I would say that there are two trips that can be very useful. Firstly, very simply one like this, so that way you can, usually enemies would be trying to go to the left side here to scale up, so this strip would get them. Or you can do this one, which is much better, just like that, and as you can see it would get anyone who tried to cross into the side, and we will spot them. It's quite difficult to break since this is really far, and they won't usually turn this in quickly enough, so that way you can either peek from A-Link or from anywhere else. You can do your camp, for example, in this spot, like this, and you can be waiting for them and watching them. Enemies would, if they enter, they would never clear up the top, so that way your cam is gonna survive for a long time and you will see where all the enemies are when they enter. You can, for this case, you can just place your cage here, and you can be waiting for enemies to come, and you can peek it and wait for them to get into the trip and try to get a free kill by simply doing this. Of course, you can be also trying to do a very simple trip right here and leaving your cage at this spot, so when they enter you can smoke this, get closer and wait for them until they get spotted by this fire. You can even try to make your way after the cage goes out into a different spot where they don't have to expect you. And also you can be leaving your cam at these spots, pretty much anywhere. Simply jump and place it there, and it's gonna be, you can see a lot onto the side. I think it's quite difficult to spot on as well. As you can see, enemies would visually enter and not really try to pay attention to anything that would be all the way here. Now let's move on to C. There's once again plenty of ways how you can do your trips on this box especially. So one of the ways would be like this. You can also place one right here, so that way it will go like this, and you can also use the box on the side of this. So the good thing about these trips is that whenever you do some of them, you can always spam through the wall right here, and you will be always hidden from anyone who'll be pushing you. These trips would be usually difficult to break, especially the ones like these, since they are difficult to see, and the enemies won't have that much idea to expect them there. So if you combine it with a cage, for example, you can activate the cage as well. You can even swing to the right more, and you can wait for them and try to get the kill on anyone who would be caught in the trip. Super easy to do, and this is very efficient here. You can also combine it with tripwires that would work like this, so that way if the enemies try to scale up to the right, they will be caught once again and are able to spray them. And it is common for enemies to, if they have a race, especially or jet, to dash, updraft and dash or satchel. So using your trip like this is gonna provide you with a cover, and if they decide to do that, they will be caught, and once again it's pretty easy for you to peek them here, and you can get a kill on them just as easily as placing the trip. You can even try to do a one-way cage here by throwing it right here. All you need to do is go into the corner right here, and as you can see, there's this corner, and you want to place the line between your cage and tripwire, so that the right side of that line is gonna be just like here. Just like this, and you simply throw it. It's quite tricky to do, so give it a shot a few times before you do this. However, if you find that you're gonna be consistent at it. And the trip is gonna look like this when you activate it. You can play off either here or here, and you will see anyone who try to push it. For the camps, there's plenty of ways. You can, for example, place one right here at the beginning of the round. I would recommend to place it a bit higher though, since enemies can spray this spot and break the camp. So place it higher, so that way it doesn't get broken. And there are these two camps that can be useful as well. First one you want to be placing right on the spot. So you just want to jump while you are standing on top of this. And as you can see, you can be watching anyone right here. And the other one, which would be much safer to use, would be just simply place it right here. And as you can see, you can be watching anyone who would be trying to enter. And you don't really have to be on the side as well, since this won't get broken unless the enemies will be very deep into the site and they would be leaving. But even in these cases, it's quite unlikely. But don't do it, as you see right here, since the enemies can be all the way on the left, but still it doesn't really affect you. It's still gonna work. More mainly you will see if there's anyone gonna enter through this spot. If you wanna cover the flank and doesn't really matter where you are going, usually placing trips very simple into these two spots is gonna work fine. Unless if you are going to be, I would not place this one since enemies can jump over it. In that case, I would do one right here, very simple like that. In all cases, doesn't really matter where you go. If you do these two, you are still good, since enemies would have to go through either one of these to break it, even if you are going on B. So doing those two trips is gonna cover your flank super easily. And lastly, one more thing that I love to do when I play Cypher here, it's just to place your cam at the beginning of the round right here, so that way you can check this corner if there is an op waiting for you, and you can gain a lot of info. If there's someone you can tag them, they will usually back out, and your team can take control of the C main. And of course the same thing works right here on A. Just at the beginning of the round, place your cam there, and you can quickly check it if there's anyone trying to push in this spot, or if there's someone holding you or even pushing you. Super easy to do, and it gains you so much info. So yeah, that's gonna be with Cypher on updated Lotus. I hope this video is gonna be helpful for you guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and see you guys soon. Bye.